Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am a father's crisis, and today we're going to review a Facebook post by essentially a Karen, and how feminism has completely rotted the brains of many women, including very successful women, and what that looks like online. So buckle up. We're going to get into it, and it's a person you probably know. So here we go.
There is no denying that there are many human rights issues that uniquely or disproportionately affect men.
In this country, fathers are not second-class citizens. I know there are a lot of people out there, including judges and probation officers, who still don't get that message, but fathers are not second-class citizens. Sometimes they're actually better parents.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just want to die sooner.
All right, like I said, we are talking about a Facebook post by a woman named Carrie Byron. You might remember her from Mythbusters. She was the eye candy, the female eye candy of Mythbusters. And like I said, some of you might remember who she is. But she had a Facebook post a couple weeks ago, and we'll read it. And we'll see how feminism has rotted the brains of many women. Here we go. A man just stopped me to ask if I'm a car mechanic. My first thought was, oh no, does he need jumper cables? Then I realized it's because I'm wearing my coveralls. I said, no, these are my Eton pants. Can't fit in my skinny jeans no more. He laughs without detecting any sarcasm. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy that wants you to name 3 songs of the band shirt you're wearing from the concert you went to, but as a girl you clearly couldn't have loved. Just another day being a woman justifying your existence. Hashtag mansplaining. Oh my gosh. There's so much ridiculousness in this post. It's just insane. I mean, the first thing was, do you have to be a mechanic to have jumper cables on you? I think that's a pretty common thing for a lot of people, mechanics or not, to have with them. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. And she assumed this guy was simply asking that question because she was wearing coveralls, something that mechanics usually wear. So she says a joke, and the funny thing is, he laughs at the joke, but she insists that he couldn't detect the sarcasm. And then she implies what he was thinking and knows what type of guy this really is. He's the guy that will ask you questions about the band t-shirt that you're wearing. And that somehow this guy was really trying to get her to justify her existence by simply asking if she was a mechanic. And then she finishes it off with the hashtag mansplaining. Now, of all the definitions of mansplaining, what I see here is that whether mansplaining exists or it doesn't, it's usually men explaining something to a woman in a very condescending way as if they don't know it. That didn't happen here. This guy, all he did was ask if she was a mechanic. And if he was some kind of crazy misogynist, he would assume that because she's a woman, she couldn't possibly be a mechanic. So I'm trying to figure out where the foul was here. The only foul I see here is the foul logic. This woman, this successful woman, popular woman, is inferring onto this man. We got no other reaction other than him asking her a question and him laughing at her joke that was clearly a joke. But even when a man recognizes sarcasm, which he did, it's going to be perceived that he doesn't really get the joke because it came from a woman. This is feminism rotting the brain of women, where women now just see all men, no matter what, as bad, have bad motivations or misogynistic motivations for even talking to a woman or asking innocent questions. Like I said, a misogynist would just assume she wasn't a mechanic and wouldn't even bother to ask the question. But he did. So, again, I don't really see the foul here. The only thing I can really see is that that she's implying that this guy was asking if she was a mechanic in a sarcastic way because she was wearing coveralls. But even that, why is she assuming the worst? Well, because society assumes the worst of men. Simply because we're men. It's a bad time to be a man right now. And the comments on this post is even worse. And a lot of them are from men. Of course, simping after her, saying, I apologize for all of us men. And all these other women saying that, oh, the best mechanic I know is a woman. Okay, cool, that's fine. Where did this man imply that women can't be mechanics? I don't see it. I don't see no mansplaining either. And some men say, you know, this one hashtag overthinking. He's exactly right. And he said, some men will just ask a question out of interest. Nothing more, nothing less. And let's be honest here. She's kind of a famous person who was on Mythbusters, probably has some knowledge of being a mechanic, or probably could fix some cars or could do things like that. She's probably way more inclined than I personally am with a car. Maybe he was trying to strike up a conversation with a celebrity that he recognized. But that couldn't be it either. It has to be a malicious intent. And that's a huge problem in our society, where we're just going to imply the worst intent of all men. You know, there are bad men, but there are plenty of bad women. Women can be just as evil and sadistic as men can. So if a man just assumed the worst of every single woman he met, while he's a misogynist, he's a bad person to believe that or have his life ordered that way. But when women do it to men, it's perfectly fine. It's crazy. And but this little thing, even from a very famous woman, shows that we are really feminism is rotting society to train women to hate men, to suspect all men, to really just not like men. And then when you build a society like that and women choose to be in relationships with men and have children with men, what do you think ends up happening? Well, these women tend to treat men like pieces of shit and keep the kids away from them and try to get as much money out of the divorce as possible, try to get as much child support as possible to punish the man because, well, the men are bad just inherently, and women are just victims of everything. And nothing could be further from the truth. Our society goes out of its way to protect women and to really do away with responsibility for women and accountability for women. But this is why things are going to keep getting worse for men. And you see things like what's going on with like Jordan Peterson, for instance, the Olivia Wilde saying something about how he's the king of the incels, and that her new movie was was kind of based off of him being a bad man. Because how dare he try to make men feel better about being men and encouraging men to be better men? What the hell is wrong with that? And you see that, if you follow what's been going on with that, and Jordan Peterson had an interview where he's breaking down, very emotional, that men don't have any encouraging word in society today, and men aren't encouraged. They're discouraged from doing anything. And there's a huge population of men who feel ostracized from society, and this Facebook post kind of proves that. It's something very small, granted, because it's some stupid Facebook post from a has-been that was on Mythbusters years ago. But we see that even these types of women will just flatly criticize men, accuse them of mansplaining, where there was no any type of mansplaining whatsoever, and just assuming the worst of the man. And she has over 400,000 followers on Facebook. Who knows about Twitter, Instagram, or whatever? And she's doubling down on it, on this notion that just men are bad. And her followers are saying that. Women who follow her are saying that. How are they going to keep interacting with men? This is not good. This is not good for society. It's going to be bad. And it's going to get worse, and it's going to get real bad, because there are going to be very large portions of men who are going to feel like they do not belong, that they have no purpose. And the most dangerous person, male or female, is someone without a purpose. And this is just encouraging that behavior for women to keep implying that men are bad, implying that they're only doing things to be bad. So it's kind of sad, and it really shows that our society is not doing well, and feminism needs to be eradicated from the West, because it's destroying us. It really is. This kind of crap is destroying us. It's destroying every aspect of society. Our legal systems, we don't see women being held accountable at all for anything that they do. Certainly our family courts are heavily gynocentric. Our whole society, our media, movies, TV, all now are pushing this crap. And you're just going to encourage men to be without purpose. And those are going to be very dangerous men for everybody, not just for women, but for everybody. And we really need to take a stock and really try to figure out how to fix this. And the only solution I see is eradicating this crazy feminism that is going on, where we don't have these types of posts going on and being accepted by their followers. It's very popular to hate men right now. Very popular. And you're going to see that it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for society when men are without purpose and feeling like they don't belong anywhere. So we're going to end up reaping what we sow. And I'm trying, and a lot of other people are trying to fix this. I think Jordan Peterson's kind of the big one right now. And then there's other men out there that are just like kind of going bald and just like, we're done. We don't want any type of relationship with a woman. Certainly not a physical one. Certainly not a relationship. And I don't want to work with women. I don't want to do any type of thing with women. That attitude is strongly being encouraged in a lot of manosphere circles. And I don't blame them. I mean, these are the women you're going to be encountering in life. Why would I want to put up with that? I don't want to put up with that. So we have to have a deep, long look into what we're doing here, and it's not going to be good if this continues. And really, as men, all we can do is stand up for the truth, stand up against feminism, and just be better men, and choose better women. Reject women like this. Absolutely reject women. Don't have friends like this who believe shit like this. Because you will always end up being the enemy one way or another because you're a man. So don't be friends with feminists. Certainly don't be in a relationship with a feminist. You're just asking for trouble there. It doesn't matter how good looking they are or how smart they are or whatever, how they make you feel. You will be the enemy at some point. So just avoid them. And that's my advice to you guys and other women, because following this line of thinking, it's a huge turnoff for men. It's a huge turnoff for men. So if you want to be strong and independent and you want to be 35, 40 years old one day and not be with a man, that's fine. That's your choice. I don't care. Don't think it's going to make you happy, though, that you're going to be alone, that your childbearing years are now over, and the likelihood of you ever having a family is pretty much zero. So continue with this attitude if that's how you want to live your life, but don't be surprised when you're alone. And that's my advice to everybody there. So until next time, I appreciate it. Please like, follow, and please subscribe and share. Share this. This is an absolutely ridiculous Facebook post. But join me on YouTube, on Rumble. I'd much rather most people start following me on Rumble simply because pretty soon YouTube probably will end up banning me. There's lots of bans going on, especially right before the election. And when men talk about this stuff, they heavily get censored. So I strongly suggest following me on Rumble. At least then, all my stuff will